Everyone's talking about NDIS plan cuts right now, but no one's really talking about what it's actually doing to providers behind the scenes. Camille DG here, veteran nurse with over 20,000 hours on the field, and now one of the only voices educating NDIS providers about how to use AI. Because let's look at this from the surface. It looks like a participant problem. Plans are getting reduced, funding being cut, but if you're a provider, this hits your business directly. The scary part is most providers don't actually realize how much it's affecting them until they start feeling it in the numbers. And you might already be feeling it. That's why you're here watching this. Slightly emptier rosters, more movement in shifts, more uncertainty week to week. And it's subtle at first, which is why it's dangerous, because it doesn't hit all at once. It slowly tightens. So in this video, I want to break this down properly. Not just what's happening, but what it actually means for your revenue, your operations, and how you run your business moving forward. Because if you can understand this quite early, you don't just survive it. You can actually position yourself ahead of most providers. Now, what we're seeing right now across the board is quite consistent. Plans are being reduced, not always dramatically, but enough to matter. Funding categories are being tightened. So there's less flexibility and there's more scrutiny, more oversight, more checking. Now, each of these on their own might not seem like a huge deal, but when you stack them together, they can really create pressure. And pressure in the NDIS doesn't just stay at the top. It flows down from the government to the participants and then straight into your operations. Now, here's where it gets real. When a participant's funding gets reduced, they don't just disappear. They adjust. And this is where most providers underestimate what's actually happening. They think, okay, maybe slightly less hours, but what actually happens is behavior changes. The participants become more selective. They question the services more. They compare providers more, which is, rightfully so. They become less consistent, and that creates instability. So what used to feel quite predictable for the business suddenly isn't. So let me give you guys a real life, simple example. You've got a participant, a stable plan, consistent shifts. Your staff already know their schedule and everything just runs smoothly. Then the plan gets cut. Now suddenly the shifts are going to change, the hours reduce. Maybe they cancel more often. Maybe they reschedule. Maybe they start asking questions about every booking, and now your team has to adjust. Not once, constantly. And that's the part people actually won't or don't talk about. It's not just about less funding, it's more movement. And now take that one situation and multiply it across multiple participants. What happens to your roster? You've got more gaps, more last minute changes, more chasing staff, more reshuffling. And here's the part that really matters. Your revenue is tightening, but your workload is increasing. Just think about that for a second. There's less money coming in, but more effort required to manage it. That's a squeeze. And most providers actually don't react to that strategically. They react operationally. They start hiring more admins, more people to manage the chaos. And all that does is increase your cost to manage a system that's becoming less profitable. And right now you're probably stuck. You've got tighter revenue, higher overheads, and more complexity. And that's where margins start disappearing. And if you're a new NDIS provider coming on to the NDIS scene right now, this is where you need to really pay attention, because a lot of new providers are coming in with the mindset of just building the business like everyone else did before, like 2018. Hire staff, get participants, grow from there. But the environment you're stepping into now is completely different. Funding is a lot tighter, the expectations are higher, and there is far less room for inefficiency, guys. So if you build your business the same way we old providers did back in the day, manual rostering, heavy admin, reactive systems, you're going to feel the pressure almost immediately. But here's the interesting part. If you're new, you actually have an advantage because you're not locked into those old systems. You don't have layers of inefficiency built in yet. You can actually choose how you build from day one. You can decide to run lean. You can actually decide to automate quite early. You can avoid needing extra admin just to stay organized and compliant. And in this environment, that's a massive edge because what's happening right now is a shift. There is no longer a growth game. It's an inefficiency game. So the providers who win are not the ones doing the most. They're the ones wasting the least. You hear that? Wasting the least. And that comes down to how your business runs behind the scenes. Because if your team is still, spending hours fixing these rosters, chasing confirmations from staff and the participants, dealing with these last minute changes, that's where your margin is going. Not just in lost funding, it's actually lost in inefficiency. And that's exactly why we built this AI software SpaceShift. It's not just another system, but as a way to remove that manual workload completely. So instead of needing more people to change your roster, your system actually handles it. Instead of reacting all day, you operate with structure. And that's what allows you to stay profitable in a tightening environment and with all these changes. So if you're already feeling that pressure, or you just want to avoid getting caught in it, copy the link in the description, paste it into your browser, and see if you guys qualify for our free 14-day trial with full human support. You might even get me on the call. We'll walk you through everything step by step and show you exactly how to adapt to what's happening right now in the NDIS. Also, I'll add another link in the description. If you are a new provider and you want to know how to run your own NDIS business, get in touch with me. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Alternatively, leave me some comments in the comments section. And if you have any questions regarding what I spoke about today, and I'd be more than happy to answer them and give you guys the real reality of what's actually happening. No fluff, no BS, because that's what I'm all about. Just full transparency, honesty, integrity. That's probably coming from my nursey background. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need any help or you want to know what's going on. You want to know the updates. Comment in the comments section, like I said, or click the links in the description and you'll be able to get in touch with me personally. Looking forward to chatting to you guys. Till the next video. Bye-bye.